Songs of freedom on the very land where 190 years ago black slaves tasted freedom.
This guy here, Captain Robert Wilson, he was a merchant, a sea merchant, and of course right to our right over here is Lake Ontario. Just beyond you can see off in the distance, on the other side way over there is the United States. So the freed slaves that came on the Underground Railway, and it's funny, people think it's like a train. It was called the Underground Railway because there were safe houses all along the route. This is what this Oakvillian did. He would go over while bringing, whether it's steel or, whatever products. Underneath there were slaves that were hidden underneath the canopies and so on. So you talk about the Promised Land, which Canada became known as the Promised Land. Well, this is where people debarked.
Fast forward almost 2 centuries later, and sisters Jocelyn and Janelle say this week's picnic at the Oakville Museum is one of their summer highlights.
I think it's good that they're having a thing in our community to celebrate Emancipation Day. There's not many opportunities to kind of celebrate that holiday, and I think it's really important to acknowledge the abolishment of slavery, especially here in Canada. I think that it's not as well known, it's not taught in schools.
We are different colors in this beautiful stained glass and able to celebrate that. And that's what makes Oakville so great, right? That's what makes Halton in general so great, is a lot of different communities coming together and celebrating the communities as opposed to pointing down on those communities.
With a celebratory atmosphere and scrumptious food offerings, the annual event attracts many first-timers.
I think it's important to learn about the history of Canada and how
Yeah, I didn't know exactly when slavery was abolished in Canada. I think honestly we learned more about the States in school, so I think it's important to know about Canadian culture, and I think days like these are fun, and then you can also learn about Canadian history.
Yeah.
The Emancipation Day Picnic in Oakville dates back to 1850, when African Canadians from across the province would gather at Oakville's Georgia Square to honor their journey to freedom. For Halton News, I'm Devin Murugan.